Hi everyone. So today I'm going to talk about what I learned from a boy who had nothing. When I first walked into the Vatsalya Foundation, my first thought was, God, it is really hot in here. This place needs air conditioning. And almost immediately I had this entire plan set up in my head of how I was going to go around organizing a fundraiser in the form of a walkathon, and I was going to get this place air conditioning. And this was going to be my big project that would help me get into a really competitive college in the US. Today, I'm here to tell you that I cannot believe how incredibly obnoxious and selfish I sounded, even in my head. The Vatsalya Foundation still does not have air conditioning, but it is the coolest place on planet Earth, which is why I continued to go there every Wednesday for 2 years after my first visit. And I also never organized that walkathon. So what is Vatsalya? Vatsalya is a shelter for street children. And the reason that I'm speaking about my experience there today is because it's been extremely instrumental in shaping my emotional maturity, a universal quality that I think is synonymous with adulthood. 3 other very important things that I learned at Vatsalya are to care with compassion, to empathize without pity, and to live with gratitude. Initially, when I entered the foundation, I felt like in order to contribute to society, I had to give money, and that's how I was really going to make that big impact. But after working there for a couple of years, I realized that the biggest contribution that I could be making to these children's lives is to give them my time, my effort, and my energy. And it was possibly the biggest contribution that I made to my own life. Today, I want to tell you specifically about this boy called Raj. So Raj was one of these people that entered the room and just made you laugh. He would always smile, and he really radiated positivity. And the first time that I went there, all these other boys of the foundation began to tease him, saying in Hindi, "Teri dulhania aa gayi," which translates to English as "Your bride has come." And they were referring to this 20-year-old blockbuster movie, Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, in which these 2 superstars, Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol, played the roles of Raj and Simran, respectively. I was named after that movie, but so was he, and that's what linked us together. So from all the volunteers out there, he would always prefer to learn with me, and I loved teaching him. And every Wednesday that I went there, he would write my name on his arm, and then we would giggle about it. So we did form a bond. And like I said, he was one of those people that really made everyone smile. And the reason that this was out of place in an organization like Vatsalya is because a lot of these kids had been picked off the streets and slums, and they had experienced violence, abuse of some sort. So it was a relatively unhappy environment. But a lot of them did have parents. It was just that their parents couldn't provide for them, or they were abusing them, which is why they were at the organization. And I always really wondered about Raj's parents, especially since I was so close to him. So one time I casually asked him about them, and he said that his mother poisoned herself and his dad set himself on fire. But what was really shocking about this was the fact that he said it not with self-pity, but with this tone of nonchalance. Despite of the enormity of the event, he managed to detach himself from the pain, and he managed to smile every single day, knowing that he had no support to fall back on. So that day, when I heard all of this, I went back home and I sat introspecting about my life. Then I had been stressing about getting good grades, keeping my failing in unity under check, making sure I stayed clear of high school drama. But in spite of constantly trying, I felt like I was lacking something, and I would lose sleep on countless nights thinking about what it is I should do to make myself just a little more perfect. But that day I thought about what I had and what Raj didn't have. And then I thought about his attitude, and I thought about mine. What I realized was the meaning of the phrase, "broken crayons still color the same." Despite of everything that was going on in my life, and no matter what was difficult, I could still be that happy, strong-minded person. All I had to do was to accept the uncertainty that life offered instead of constantly fighting it. And Raj reminded me of that. He changed me back into a more confident person. And confidence was a quality that I had begun to lose just because I felt like I was in the midst of this rat race to get into the best college and basically just be perfect. And then, in the midst of all my stress, I basically realized that I had an unshakable flame of strength, and I shouldn't let things that wouldn't even matter, like 6 months from now, bother me and let me lose sleep over. And over those 2 years, like a lot of people asked me why I continued to opt for the Vatsalya Club. I had a friend tell me that, oh, like you could be in the Chocolatiers Club, or you could be in the Board Games Club, you could be playing a sport. Why is it that you go 1 hour away to sit in the scorching heat, 3 p.m. in the afternoon? And I never really knew the answer until now, when I actually sat to think about it, and I sat to think about what is it that Vatsalya really did for me. And then today I know that it actually helped put me back together. It helped put my broken pieces back together and mold me into this strong-minded and confident person that I always aspired to be. And today the advice that I have for all of you is that it isn't about the money you contribute to these organizations. Yes, in the short run they're probably going to get an extra pair of clothes or a new computer, but you're not adding value to their life in the long run. My advice to you is that you should give them your time, your energy, your effort. And this isn't because of the one-way impact that you will be making on their lives. It's because of the impact that that experience will have on you. This boy who had nothing gave me the greatest gift of all. He taught me how to be emotionally resilient and how to be emotionally self-reliant. And today I hope that I have given all of you all the opportunity to do the same. Thank you.